up-and-comers, body shot out of Lowell, North Carolina. Can you speak to them?
I don't. All I've noticed about them from constantly commentating their athletes, and I know that my friend Moon trains over there, and they just seem to have a dedication to the striking arts, mainly boxing.
So we are seeing an extremely interesting start.
Very
They're
technical,
and they're not putting everything into their strikes, and they're standing very close, reminiscent of the buildup of a Muay Thai fight, or when you watch high-level glory-style kickboxers, how they're willing to stand much closer and sort of test each other's reactions and feints and defense. And
Youssef is touching too much, too often, too early for my liking. That's a good return by Caleb Doster. He needs a few more of those to get Youssef to back him up a little bit.
Reaching with that jab, low kick, and Youssef stalking him and cutting him off with the footwork. And he's not putting everything he's got into those low kicks. And
Youssef has a scary fast jab.
Right.
Like it's like, bonk, it's like not a lot of effort, like you said, and it seems to be stiff. Seems to be stiff at below half power.
Yeah, and he's putting the corner, the way the jab is landing, the pinky corner of that glove's going into the eye of Doster.
He's turning it over really well.
There's a seam there. And if you're putting the pinky corner of your glove into your opponent's eye more than 1 or 2 times, it really, really starts to interfere with the vision. It feels really crappy, even if the shots don't land hard.
Caleb Doster's done a decent job of closing the distance with the level changing. Yeah, and I was
digs to the body. Big smack from that one.
He is finding that right hook on the entry, but as he comes in, he's leaning a lot.
Amer with a good stiff right that cuts through the guard.
All the bad shots for Amer have been just straight right now, like he's landing straight a lot. But if he catches Caleb leaning, it could be pretty bad. But I think Caleb's done a great job to try and work around the reach advantage.
Excellent mix-up of the punches and the kicks from Youssef. He's not putting anything into it. He's going to have plenty of energy left in the next round.
Caleb looks a lot more comfortable than he did in the first 30 seconds of this bout.
Oh, narrowly ducks that head kick.
I thought that could be a possibility. We're seeing a lot of level changing, a lot of ducking and wide angled head movement and sliding around from Caleb, and that's what he's trying to. He's trying to come in and get under the tall guy.
If this were MMA,
he'd have other options to work with.
That's a thing.
He'd have
in a strictly striking bout, where your opponent is being more measured, more composed, more technical, more patient, that's not smart.
No.
The violent, large head movement. Now, I won't go so far to say you can't use head movement in kickboxing. You have to wait till your opponent blows his kick, typically. He throws a kick, now you can move your head a little bit. The problem is Youssef Amer is throwing a kick, punch, kick, punch. Kick, punch, kick, punch.
Yes.
So the head movement is a dangerous game to play when someone is free to throw kicks. You have to wait until that kick is burnt. I use the term burn, like burning a super in a fighting game.
Kick immediately. No matter how athletic you are, you have to get back to your stance.
Especially if the kick had force in it. So interesting to see. Doster was able to duck that kick from the height disparity, but just barely.
All right, round number 2. About to get started between Amer and Doster. Interesting round, and right at the end, we saw Amer go high with a very low effort head kick.
Yeah, Youssef Amer with the Kubrick stare to start things off.
That's how he's been all night, though. He's iron-eyed.
Now, when he kicks, Doster's found him. What I was about to say is when Amer kicks, he's still standing straight up in front of him. So if Doster could do what we were talking about earlier, which is accept a kick in order to land a punch, that might get him back in this fight.
Yeah,
good skip. Ooh, beautiful feint and a switch and went to the back leg.
The footwork is so important for Doster. That's more important than the head movement, is the footwork. Can the footwork close the distance? Can it cut him off? Can it give you a position in the cage that you can work with on the tall guy?
Agreed. Amer spreading the arms wide, inviting the body shot so that he can then mix up. And now Amer has almost developed his right low kick is a bit like a tick. He's putting it on everything and making sure the judges see it, making sure Doster knows that he's constantly kicking. And that is a very, very smart tactic in a kickboxing.
As well.
Yeah.
Conditioning,
yeah. Pavlovian. Ooh! Inverting that kick as Doster leaned over to the right and hitting the body. A little shuffle step, little feints and foot feints from Doster. Snappy jab.
They're asking him to step in with the jab and close the distance.
Doster's corner.
In the blue corner, yes.
Ooh, good head movement. There you go. That was much tighter and much more, he moved his head the exact right amount he needed and did a great job punching his way out of that caught kick. Just because your kick is caught doesn't mean you're done fighting.
Especially in this rule set, because you know that Amer can't really do much manipulation.
I caught it. They're asking him to step into a long lead uppercut, an up jab, some people call it, or a 5, a long lead uppercut. They want him to step into it and come that wide guard of Amer. They want him to come up in between it with that lead hand.
That can be a tough punch to land unless you really have a knack for it sometimes.
You also accept a large amount of risk to land it. Oh, he ducks himself into a kick again. Luckily, Amer's not throwing him too hard.
Amer was
left hook. Doster lands a very flush, long looping
much better round for Caleb Doster there in the second. Looked a lot more comfortable and looked like he was wearing the shots a lot better too.
Yeah, I think maybe he's settled in and realized that Amer's not hurting him yet. He's building up points, but he's not hurt him yet. And look at the difference on the stool from Amer. That is a bad look.
Amer spent a lot of that round just kind of waiting for shots he knew were coming too. He wasn't trying to cut him off at the pass. He was waiting for them to come. A lot, especially those caught kicks.
He's hurt. He's hurting. The arm leaned on the thigh there. The dejected stare. He's in.
Looks like the thinker.
Yeah. Yeah. His hands appear heavy. He's holding his hands like they're heavy.
We saw what can happen very quickly in that last fight when your hands start to get heavy.
Yeah. Doster, stylistically, doesn't need to be that fresh to do what he does. To be a technical, volumized striker, you have to have gas. To be a big shot, big puncher, you do not.
Yes, exactly. Well, as we saw very much in the last fight as well, yeah.
In the slobber knocker. But if Amer maintains that same technical pace, maybe he can make Doster walk into a shot and maybe have a little more impact with it. Ooh, left hook again from Doster. It's been there each time.
Yeah, he's landed that pretty much to the body, to the head, varied all night, and starting to get really big reactions.
Now he has Amer standing in front of him, and he just buckled the leg. He buckled the base leg of Amer.
While the weight was on it.
All the weight, yeah. And again, and now you see a little hop. That left leg of Amer just got compromised by those two kicks. And Doster is feeling the confidence. Big right hand and then a left body kick as a little short, and the head movement proves useful again. Good jabs from Amer. And now Doster's learning that he can step through those low kicks because there's not much on him in order to land punches.
100%. He's doing a great job with the body work. The body work's been an investment for him all night, and it's paying off.
Every kick that he's thrown to the body has been caught.
If you don't want to get punched when you catch a kick, that's all you have to do. You can't just let it go. You have to push. You have to push them as you let go. Drive him.
They are allowed to do one thing with a caught kick. That spinning back kick again. He's tried it a couple times. It's one of those things we see when we see MMA schools. They don't ever learn.
He does it right there too. It's not. Well,
the thing is, when they use traditional martial arts techniques in MMA schools, there's no one that learned it the traditional way. It's it's very athletic, powerful people that know a lot about fighting. They just got good at it by doing it a bunch. So they're usually missing some of the finer details. And we see Amer making use of the knees for the first time to effect in this fight as he clinches and pushes Doster against the cage.
Yeah, the guy's trading knees in there.
Clubbing forearm blow from Doster.
Really seems like Amer's more surviving now than anything, just kind of waiting for the fight to be over.
Yeah, he's let Doster into this fight, and Doster has run away with this round and torn apart the lead leg of Youssef Amer.
When it was a super, super back and forth technical jabbing contest at the first round, it seemed like Caleb was still coming online, but at the end of the fight, it was one guy was comfortable and one guy's not.
Youssef Amer just put his glove on the ground at the end of that fight.
That was from the body work, undoubtedly. I mean, Caleb was slugging hooks to the body from the get-go.
Do you know what that is? That is an artifact from, that's a training scar. That's allowing yourself to do that in training when the round ends and you're tired and you're done, and you take that knee and your buddies come over and pat you on the back and it's all friendly.
The optics.
That's a training scar. When you finish, people are watching you.
Yeah, I mean, now he's doing it, but the judges have already written their scores.
Right. Yeah, that's a training
all
scar.
The invisible factors. All the invisible factors we talk about. Body Shot Combat Club continues to be a very impressive school. And the Doster family continues to impress inside the Fight For It cage.
taking a little while on these scorecards.
Yeah, I mean, I do think Amer won the first round, but I think after that it was pretty one-way traffic.
Two to me feels. I wasn't watching it for the purpose of scoring. It's hard for me to know. I think one.
All righty, fighters to the center of the cage as our judge's decision is in, and we have a split decision with your winner going to the blue corner, Caleb Doster.
Youssef Amer skeptical about the validity of that decision.
I mean, when they're that close.
Yeah,
you know,
it's close.
It was close. I think the third round really put a stamp on things in terms of making it a definitive for me as a commentator and analyst. I felt like after that third round, I knew the answer pretty obviously.
And had we had 2 more rounds, it's pretty obvious, I think, what would have happened.
And you know we about to go to the cage interview with Mr. Sam Falgout, who has prepared 0 questions for our fighter.
They should probably, you know what would be good? Is if they had some, like, martial arts guys that, like, knew about this stuff.
Yeah.
To ask the questions.
Yeah, that would be